The second stitch in knitting is called the purl stitch, P-U-R-L, but you can remember it because it sounds like pearl, like you find in the ocean, which is a little round ball, and the round purl stitch is what we're going to learn now. It's roundish, and the roundish is in the front because you're doing the work in the front of your needle. So what you're going to do is take your right hand needle, insert it into the first stitch, and bring the needle point to the front of the needle. So you're going to have your needle in the front, then take your yarn and wrap it around, this time clockwise. I then usually hold the yarn with my thumb so that I don't lose it as I'm pulling my needle through. You bring the needle through, you have the new stitch on your right needle, and you slide off your old work. The first stitch you're always going to want to just give it a little tug because it'll be a little bit loose. So just give it a little tug, not so much that it's so tight you can't insert your needle in next round. Once you've done that, stick your needle back in to the front, loop it around clockwise, hold it with your finger, I use my thumb, and then slide it off. And you see, I'm not holding my thread. I throw my thread. Doesn't matter which way you handle your thread. Some people have it wrapped around their fingers. Some people have other ways they do it. When I'm doing the purl stitch, I just throw it. I hold it with my thumb. I bring it out. So there you see, I'm inserting it into the front and looping it around. And one thing you want to be sure is to not pull so tightly that when you go back for your next round of knitting or purling, you're going to have a hard time sticking your needle in. That will make it not fun for you, and you will decide that knitting is a bore, and you will put this work down and you will never do it again. That's not what we want. We want you to love this because it really is fun, it's relaxing, and it's something you can do when you're watching television. And the other thing is, when you're knitting, both of your hands are busy, and if both of your hands are busy, they cannot be grabbing peanuts or popcorn or other snacks and putting them in your mouth. So it could even be argued that this is an aid if you are on a diet. So now we've just done another row of purl stitching, and this is what it looks like. When you've purled, you have these nice, even little round stitches on the purl side, and then on the other side, this is what it looks like with the knit side. So knit is nice and smooth, and purl is roundish like pearls. Those are the two stitches in knitting. Everything else is a variation of that. If you want to do the ribbing, like on the cuff of a sweater or a sock, it's simply the same number of knit stitches and the same number of purl stitches. So knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. Keep doing that, and it makes a long row. But you know the basics. Everything else is just a variation of the two stitches you've just learned. Happy stitching!